Hello everybody. Before we start the video, I'd like to give my condolences to Liam Payne's family and friends and anybody that might be hurt by the situation or knew him personally. I know what it's like to lose a family member and a friend, so my condolences. Liam Payne was only 16 years old when he became a part of the band now known as One Direction. It was originally founded through Simon Cowell when all of the members starred as singers on The X Factor in 2010, which quickly followed with their lead single, What Makes You Beautiful, which quickly skyrocketed the boy band to wild success, but for Liam, this would be his downfall. During the peak of One Direction's fame, Payne struggled with, as he stated in the 2021 episode Diary of a CEO interview, pills and booze, and suicide ideations, where he also stated in the band that the best way to secure us was to lock us up in our room. What's in the room? A minibar. So at a certain point, I thought, I'm just going to have a party for one, and that seemed to carry on for years of my life. Being trapped in the lonely room really fucked me up.
Whatever. But it feels to me like when we were in the band, the best way to secure us, because of how big it got, was just lock us in our rooms. And of course, what's in the room? Minibar. So at a certain point, I thought, well, I'm going to have a party for one. And that just seemed to carry on throughout many years of my life. And then you look back, how long you've been drinking and stuff, you're like, Jesus Christ, that's a long time. Even for someone who's, as young as I was. It was wild. But it was like the only way you could get frustration out in the day or being trapped. And I spoke to somebody about this and in child development, as a teen, the one thing you need is freedom to make choices and freedom to do stuff. And it was the one thing that, although we could do anything we wanted, it seemed from the outside that we were always locked in a room at night. And then it would be car, hotel room, stage, sing, locked. So it was like they pulled the dust cloth off, let us out for a minute, and then woohoo! And then he's like back underneath it, and I'm like, gut.
Eventually, a photo in 2014, which would outrage fans, came out of Payne standing on the edge of his apartment balcony in East London. Payne later apologized for the photo and stated his friend shared the photo, but Payne becoming a big celebrity at such a young age stunted his mentality. He later stated, the day the band ended, I was like, thank the Lord. I know it would make a lot of people mad at me, but I needed it to stop or it would kill me.
The day the band ended, I was like, thank Lord for that. And I know a lot of people are going to be mad at me for saying that, but I needed to stop or it would kill me.
Chapter 2, the start of his solo career. After One Direction parted ways in 2015, Payne signed with Republic Records and eventually released his debut solo single, Strip That Down. The song quickly reached number 10 on the US Billboard of Hot 1000 in September of 2017. And in the same year, his son Bear was born, whom he had with his then-girlfriend, Cheryl Cole, which later that year, they'd split up for an unknown reason. As he worked to build up his solo career, the new dad repeatedly struggled with social gaffes apparently fueled by his substance abuse. He later appeared in Logan Paul's podcast Impulsive, seemingly intoxicated, where he claimed Simon Cowell formed the band One Direction around him specifically.
From what I've heard is that part of the reason One Direction was made was because of Simon's promise to me that in 2 years I'll make this work for you.
Wow.
So he kind of started with my face and then worked around the rest. I've never told that story before.
You were the inception.
I was the honorary member of One Direction, yes. And he told me that story himself in his house.
He later got criticism for alleging that one unnamed band member threw him against the wall backstage once during an argument. There was one moment where there was an argument backstage, and one member in particular threw me up a wall, which is allegedly to be said Zayn.
And there was one moment where there was an argument backstage and one member in particular threw me up a wall. So I said to him, if you don't remove those hands, there's a high likelihood you'll never use them again.
That is such a British thing to say.
Liam had a problem with Zayn, stating that there was many reasons why he didn't like Zayn. Malik came up during Logan's podcast when he mentioned a situation involving his brother Jake, Malik, and his ex-girlfriend Gigi Hadid. Liam had said she tweeted something about get yourself a respectful man or something. That one didn't age very well.
I've had an experience with one of your bandmates.
Which bandmate are we talking about? I already think I know, but just throw it in the mixer.
Our boy Zayn,
Ugh.
ex-bandmate, I should say.
Wayne Malik.
I thought my brother was about to fight Zayn, and then Gigi tweeted at Jay calling him like ugly and irrelevant, and that went crazy viral. And Jake is ugly.
She tweeted something about,
but he's not irrelevant.
Then she tweeted something about get yourself like a respectful man or something.
Yeah.
That one didn't age very well.
It didn't age.
Seemingly referring to Hadid's continuous split from Malik. Payne later said, referring to his former bandmate, "I don't agree with any of his actions. I can't commend some of the things that he's done. I can't be on his side for that. What I can say is I understand. And your only hope is that at some point in their life, the person on the other end of the phone wants to receive that help you're willing to give them. That's all I'll say."
On him because of whatever. And listen, I don't agree with any of his actions. I can't commend some of the things that he's done. I can't be on his side for that. What I can say is I understand, and I hope that your only hope is that at some point in their life, the person on the other end of the phone wants to receive the help that you're willing to give them. That's all I'll say.
That's beautiful.
Chapter 3, Stalking and Legal Cases. Maya Henry, the ex-fiancée of Liam Payne, has been subjected to a barrage of horrific abuse on social media following the devastating news of his death last night. Henry had recently accused the One Direction star of repeated unwanted contact before his passing, which had caused the model to pursue legal action, issuing a cease and desist letter to the 31-year-old Liam Payne just last week. Despite the tragic circumstances, trolls have targeted Henry with appalling messages, with one commenting, "Now he is dead, are you happy?" Another added, "It was all your fault," in a TikTok video dated October 6th. Henry detailed her experiences since their split, alleging that Payne would message her from various numbers ever since we broke up. "He messaged me, he would blow up my phone. It's always from different phone numbers too. I never know where it's going to come from," she said. She further claimed that Singer created new iCloud accounts to reach out to her and even emailed her, as well as contacting her mother and friends, while encouraging his fans to post negative comments about her.
"Y'all don't even know what happens behind closed doors or in private. Ever since we broke up, he messages me. Oh, it's always from different phone numbers too, so I never know where it's going to come from. He'll create new iCloud accounts to iMessage me. It's always a damn new iCloud account. I'm like, every time I see one pop up on my phone, I'm like, here we again. Messaging my friends. Not only was he messaging them, I found out later while we were together, so they could go over to his house apparently. And he says that he preys on One Direction fans because they will always be loyal to him and they won't tell on him. Is that normal behavior to you? But I'm crazy for making a 5-second TikTok about something that he brought to the internet.
Henry and Payne's relationship began in 2019, leading to an engagement in August of 2022. However, they separated during lockdown and called off their engagement in June of 2021. On the Diary of a CEO podcast that same year, Payne expressed regret for hurting people and acknowledged that he was actively working on his personal issues. He added, "That's where I got to in my last relationship. I just wasn't giving a very good version of me anymore that I didn't appreciate and I didn't like being. I can honestly say I feel better out of it. I didn't feel good doing what I did, but it had to happen. That's just the corniest way of saying it was the best for us both."
You're single.
Yeah.
Me and you both.
Where are we going? No, I'm saying to myself, I feel like more than anything at this point, I'm more disappointed in myself for the keep on hurting people. That annoys me. I've just not been very good at relationships. And I know what my pattern of things is with relationships, I feel at this point. I'm just not very good at them. So I just need to work on myself
You're gonna have to
first
tell me what that means, yeah.
before I put myself onto somebody else. And I feel that's what, that's where I got to in my last relationship. I just wasn't given a very good version of me anymore that I didn't appreciate and I didn't like being. And I can honestly say that I feel better out of it. I didn't feel good for doing what I did, but it had to happen.
Chapter 4, The Tragic Death of Liam Payne. Payne had arrived in Argentina earlier in the month for former One Direction bandmate Niall Horan's concert. It appears Payne stayed or returned to Argentina a short time after Horan's concert with Cassidy. Cassidy left Argentina by herself 2 days before Payne's death. Moments before the tragic death, the staff of the hotel he was staying in had made a call to the police stating that a guest, referring to Liam, was under the influence of drugs and alcohol, and that they had been worried because they haven't been able to enter his room or get in contact with him. And the manager also claimed while under the influence, Liam was destroying his room and was extremely aggressive, which the police later confirmed these statements.
Hola, buenos días. Recién llamé que se me corrió. Llamo del Hotel Casa Azul Palermo, Costa Rica 6032.
¿Qué sucede en el lugar, señor?
Bueno, tenemos un huésped que está sobrepasado de droga y alcohol y cuando está consciente está rompiendo toda la habitación y bueno, necesitamos que manden a alguien, por favor.
Bajo efectos de alcohol y estupefaciente, ¿no, señor?
Sí, correcto.
Me dijo Costa Rica, ¿qué altura, señor? Discúlpeme.
Costa Rica 6032.
Esto pertenece a Capital, ¿no? Entre Ariel y
Sí.
Joner.
Sí.
¿Hotel me dice? ¿Cómo se llama el hotel?
Casa Sur Palermo. Y necesitamos que nos envíen a alguien urgente porque, bueno, yo no sé si corre riesgo la vida del huésped. Está en una habitación que que tiene balcón y bueno, estamos un poco con temor de que haga algo que le ponga antes en
¿Hace
su
cuánto que
vida.
está ahí? ¿O es un hotel de vivienda?
No, es hace 2 o 3 días que está acá.
Hombre, no sabría ningún dato porque no pueden ingresar, ¿no?
No,
Notificamos a lo que es el personal de SAME. También escuchamos.
sí, lo que yo te pido es que venga alguien urgente porque, bueno,
Notificamos. En la sanada se
perfecto.
notificó. ¿Algún dato más para aportarnos? ¿Usted quién sería? ¿Es encargado?
Yo soy el jefe de recepción.
Encargado del lugar sería, ¿no?
Sí, sí,
Ya se notificó. ¿Cómo se llama usted por último, señor?
Esteban.
Ya se notificó. Hacer el móvil, por favor.
Ok.
Gracias por comunicarse. ¿Puede liberar la línea?
¿Mandan a la policía también
La
o no?
policía de lo que es la comuna, deme un segundo que se... Comuna que
No, no.
SAME.
No, solamente al SAME, solamente al SAME.
Hombre, no se preocupe que ya se notificó igual.
Ok, perfecto, bueno,
O sea que
muchas
como
gracias.
usted me dice que está bajo los efectos del alcohol y estupefacientes, no, el SAME no entra solo.
No entra solo el SAME.
No.
Ok,
Igual
ok.
se notifica. Igual si usted llega al personal policial le explica y si requiere SAME le dan aviso.
Bueno, ok,
Ya se
perfecto.
notificó igual. Que tenga un buen día, señor.
Bueno, gracias igualmente.
After these phone calls, Liam would later take his own life, and when medical professionals arrived at the scene, they stated, "Our role was to head there quickly, give medical attention, and try to resuscitate him, but his injuries were incompatible with life." Emergency Services Chief Alberto Crescenti added that the team could do absolutely nothing. There was no resuscitation because it was confirmed that he had died. The whole body had very serious injuries. Chapter 5, my conclusion. As writing and making this video, text messages a day prior to the tragic death of Liam Payne came out, where it shows Liam and a close friend, Joe Richards, chatting, and videos of fans singing One Direction songs at his place of death.
Many nights does it take to count the stars?
But overall, in such an unfortunate event, it seems Liam was depressed and in a drug-induced psychosis, he had taken his own life. This is a really messed up situation, and once again, my condolences go out to Liam's family and friends. This is the end of my video. You can like and subscribe if you like, but for now, goodbye and good night.